Hello and welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to take a look at this, the FOXBOX Voyager series. Yeah, not a brand I'd heard of, but I think they're part of the Liege watch company on AliExpress, and this is their brand, the FOXBOX. I think it's called the Voyager series, FB0024. Very much a dive style type of watch. Obviously, they've gone for that Seiko TUNA look. And it's a really interesting watch, this. There's so much right with it and a few bits wrong with it. But we'll get into that in a second. It's quartz watch. I got it from AliExpress for around £22. Now, when I ordered it, there was only a blue and a black available. But since then, I found a site on AliExpress that does it in a few of the colours. So they do it in a light blue with a black bezel, which is really nice. The blue that I ordered, black, gold, and also a green. So there are a few choices there. I'll put a link in the description to this particular colour here. But I'll put it through to the store anyway, so you can see all those colours and see what you think from there. So what do you get for your £22? Well, you get a very big watch. It is obviously a homage to the Seiko TUNA with some differences. But it is a big watch, so it's 47mm diameter. So quite a big watch. Lug to lug is 44, although it's difficult to tell that because the lugs are well hidden underneath the body of this watch. Obviously a slightly different design being so circular. We've got a strap width of 22mm, so you could swap this out quite easily for another strap. You'll notice on this particular, so they can strap it, flares out as soon as it comes off the lugs. We've got a thickness of 13mm, so very much a cuff catcher. It's not going to sit under shirt sleeves very well at all, I don't think. And it's 105 grams in weight, so there's a bit of weight to this particular watch. It is quite a big boy. Now, in the marketing for this watch, it says that the build is alloy, which would make sense for a watch at this price. With some unusual effects on it. It's polished on the top of the recessed body of the watch there. Well, this is brushed. And on the side of the body, it's, as you see, horizontally brushed on top of what was, I'm guessing, at some point a polished body, and it's then been brushed on top of that. We've then got those indentations, not quite vertical, they're sort of off at, I don't know what degrees that would be, 10 degrees or something, as well as these fake valves. Now, I don't think the actual TUNA has those indentations, so they've definitely tried to differentiate there with those indentations. And it does add some look to it, a bit of style, really, I suppose. Yeah, I like that. I quite like the look it's done. It's very sort of industrial to look at. Now we've got a ore-hardened glass mineral crystal. So I'm guessing that's just a mineral crystal. Just a clever way of putting it. We've got the crown at 4 o'clock, for those who like that. Quite unusual. Well, I say unusual. You see it quite a bit now, I suppose. But yeah, it's a different style at 4 o'clock. Some people might not like that, to be quite honest. And then we have a 60-click unidirectional bezel. Now, this is quite stiff. Once you get it going, it's fine, but it is quite stiff. Now, that's not helped. I'm using my nail to turn it, actually, on my thumb, because of the way that the body of this watch is. You can see these two raised pieces here, allowing access to the bezel at the sort of 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock. And that obviously restricts what you can get, and it's not a very deep bezel on it, so it's actually quite difficult to turn around sometimes, to be quite honest. And what you do notice as well is the brushing on the body does carry on to the bezel. So yeah, it's uniform in that respect. I quite like the look, to be quite honest. It's definitely a bit of a Marmite moment. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. Now the dial on this is very much a more submarine than it is a TUNA dial, to be quite honest. One of the reasons being we've got these circular indices, which is actually what is on a TUNA as well. However, on a tuner, the 3, you get a small rectangle because most tuners seem to have a day-date window rather than just a date window. So again, it differentiates from a tuner there. It's definitely more of a Submariner dial. Now, there's no numbers or Arabics on here. They're all circular indices. We've got a triangle at the 12 as well. Hands, well, the hour hand is a very short hour hand, kind of cathedral looking. Looks like a bishop's hat in my eyes. The minute hand is an elongated arrow with a syringe tip. Now those are coated in Lume, the same as the indices. So we've got this green that is uniform across that dial, across the indices and the hands. We've got a very slim needle second hand. Now the Lume on this isn't bad. Let me just put a picture of it up. So as you can see, it's not too bad at all. Looks quite good when it's loomed up. Now my 3 AM test, well, by that I mean trying to read the time on your watch at 3 o'clock in the morning. It does okay. It's not the greatest. The indices fade quite quickly, but the hands do stay on a little bit, so it's okay for Lume. Now also on the dial, we've got FOXBOX printed on in silver, just under the 12, quartz, water resistant, 5 bar, 50 meters, printed on in white. Now, what I would say on this particular one, the blue definitely seems a little bit more washed out than it is in the marketing materials. Just bear that in mind. If I had known it was that light, I probably wouldn't have gone for the blue. I probably would have gone for the black. I didn't know about the other colours at the time, but yes, I would have gone for probably the black one. And the one thing I forgot to mention was the date window at the 3. It is framed in silver, but not colour matched. Shame, but nice and clean, and I do like the look of it, I must admit. Now the case back is just printed onto the back here, all stainless steel, 5 ATM water resistance, and then the FOXBOX symbol with 1853. Now, I've got a feeling that's more 7 minutes to 7 than it is the year 1853. I don't know if there's any history behind this brand. I'd never heard of it until I ordered this watch, to be quite honest. So I think that's more 7 minutes to 7, not the year 1853. Now the strap on this watch is a really thick silicone dive style strap. Considering it's a cheap watch, I actually really like this strap. It's very long, ridiculously long. So when I put it on, I think I've got 5 holes, or I'm on the 5th hole from the end. I wish every watch manufacturer did that. Hope you're listening, Seconda. And if you haven't watched the video that I'm talking about there, I'll put a little link up in the corner. But it's a really nice strap. Double retainers, nice big thick brushed metal buckle and tang as well. And it's really nice, really comfortable, nice and stretchy, and a really nice strap for the watch. So here it is on my 8-inch wrist. So it's a big watch, 47mm in diameter, and it fits on my 8-inch wrist really nicely. If you've got a smaller wrist, this will be a big watch. The silicone strap, really comfortable, especially with these shoulders, and it's quite a nice stretchy one as well. There's other watches that have got this style of strap, one which I'll show you in a minute, that don't pull it off as well. Very long strap as well, so if you've got big wrists, I think I'm on the 4th or 5th hole back, so you've got plenty to play with. So big wrists, big watch, it's a good buy for the price. Couple of niggles, not the best finishing on this watch. There's a few rough edges, not sharp by any means, but they could be done better, as could the brushing. It looks a little sort of cheap on it. It could be done much finer, make it look much more classy. It is a big watch, it is heavy. Some people are going to find that annoying, particularly when they bend the hand back like that. The watch touching them, I know, can annoy people on the back of the hand. The crown at 4 o'clock does make that better, so that helps. And also the blue dial, it's a sunburst effect on it. If I was to buy this watch again, I'd buy a slightly different colour. I'd probably go for the light blue with the black bezel that I showed you earlier, just because this looks a little washed out. But other than that, it's a really good watch for the price. Now, if dive watches are your thing, you might not like this particular watch. but you might like this particular watch, the Casio Duro, which I reviewed recently. I'll put a link for that in the corner and just say thanks for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.